Greetings, Incarnate, bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we check out another indie game. A while ago I covered a game called the Chant. It was a very innovative survival horror game with an interesting story and interesting characters as well. It was a bit of an underground hit, and the video was so popular the developer asked me to have a look at their new title, Scars Above. Like the Chant, Scars Above is a survival horror game, and in a similar way to the Chant, it has some very clever ideas. In fact, I enjoyed the game so much I've played a fair way into the campaign, and I really wanted to share the game with you guys. So strap yourself in, this is going to be a long one. Let's check out Scars Above.
Personal log. Mission Specialist Kate Ward. Sentient Contact Assessment and Response Team. We always wondered if we're alone in the universe. We observed and explored, but found nothing. Until now.
Scar Mission Control to Hermes. Status check.
All systems nominal. We're working on a solution for our scan power requirement. We'll update soon.
Roger that, Hermes. Keep us posted.
Kate, we have an issue.
Problem with the scan?
We've underestimated the power requirements necessary to penetrate the Metahedron's hull. Mike has an idea, but he could use a hand. He's in the lab and I'll give you the details.
On my way.
The game begins with us as Kate Ward, a young engineer, on an expedition to investigate a mysterious alien spacecraft called the Metahedron. Now, we're your typical nerd. Our love for comic books and games, and of course engineering, is going to come in handy as we explore a hostile alien environment. But one of the things I really like in the early game is the ability to explore the ship and to learn more about a character and a relationship with the other crewmates.
The day when Tam and I graduated and decided to join the space program. Never thought it would lead to alien objects in space. Tam was lucky that Robinson interrupted us. I was on the verge of victory.
So our best friend Tam, our schoolmate, she's on the expedition as well, and we can see here the rest of the crew.
Survival training. We really needed to unwind.
Along with a picture of the Metahedron, the alien spacecraft that we're going to be getting up close and personal with.
It has been 6 months since the alien object known as...
It's time to go and meet one of the other crew members and start our first job.
Hey, Kate. I think I figured out a way to give us the power we need for the scan. I've attached the scanners directly to the engines.
Wow, directly? Brave.
I think it'll work, but we need to find a way to kickstart the process with around 500,000 volts.
Do we still have those SLD-26 welders in the equipment room?
Yeah, I think we have one or two, but why do you... Oh! You want to modify it to discharge high-voltage electricity. And you call me brave.
Oh boy.
So you can see here our new friend Mike. We've been learning some Japanese off him. And one of the things I do like is most of these guys are friends, and as you play the game, you'll learn more about the characters. The problem with a lot of these games is the characters are kind of cardboard cutouts, or they are immediate experts at whatever it is that they're doing, expert soldiers. They go into an alien invasion or a unpleasant environment and immediately they know what to do. In this case, we're not a soldier, we're an engineer. But this is where you'll see the first of the game's inspirations. Now this is probably giving you some Dead Space vibes. this welder is going to become very, very
Now
useful
I need to craft a rail module at the mobile printing unit.
once we make a few modifications that I'm sure are probably going to void the warranty of this welder.
There. It should be strong enough to direct and focus the electrical current.
All we're going to do
Now, to fit all this together.
is assemble our new
Only
weapon.
missing a power source. I have to adjust the frequency of the Tesla coil first.
Sorry, scientific tool. It's not a weapon
I see Mr. Jefferson is in the lab today.
yet.
I never leave my home planet without him.
Now we just have to calibrate our new toy. And I really like this, the vibe of engineering throughout the game. Everything you find in the game, every item that you come across, you're going to be using it to craft weapons, armor, tools to traverse the environment, consumables. You won't find any of that in the alien environment. You're going to have to use what you find on the ship and also the alien planet resources to make what you need to survive.
There. Now just to calibrate the output voltage.
Oh, how's that first time?
That looks like a space blaster.
Just a tool. Nothing else. It's a vectorized energy rail accelerator, discharging electrical...
Vera. Let's call it Vera for short.
You sure like to name things. Vera it is.
So what we've essentially built is a giant taser, or a lightning gun for those people that enjoy the Quake series. This is going to be a very useful tool for us to do our job, and
Mike, I'm in front of the
it has some
reactor.
other
What's the best way
applications
to
as
power
well.
it with extra energy?
See the 3 positronic nodes surrounding the core? A jolt to each one would be sufficient. Yes, keep it up. Almost there. We need a little more energy for the reaction. Huh. Let's try a direct shot to the core, straight to the heart.
Well, that doesn't sound dangerous at all.
It's working. I'm feeding the excess power directly to the scanner.
I haven't seen you shoot like this since the college rifle championship.
Yeah, I also remember you taking first place from me.
And don't you forget it.
Good job. Dr. Ward, Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Now that we've gotten a bit of a handle on our new weapon, unfortunately we have to go and put it away.
To the equipment room. She served her purpose.
Or she'll be serving some other purposes soon, but unfortunately we do have to holster our new toy. I mean, who would get nervous if someone was walking around a ship with a lightning gun? But don't worry, we'll be making some new toys very soon.
Telemetry check. We're go.
How are we doing with that sensor array, Mike?
We're ready, Commander.
You have the honors, Dr. Ward. Take your place when ready and start the scan.
It's time to commence our final approach to the Metahedron, the ship up ahead that could potentially change the future of the human race.
Excess energy seems to have done the trick. The array is locked on the Metahedron and operating at almost 200% of its standard efficiency. Say the word, Commander.
In just a moment, Dr. Ward. Team, can I have your attention, please? Since the dawn of humankind, our species has gazed toward the skies and wondered whether we were truly alone. Well, 6 months ago, we got our answer. And with it came new questions. What is this object in front of us? Where did it come from? Who sent it? And why? While the governments, leaders, thinkers, and common people discussed the meaning of this event, we were training. We were preparing. The SCAR team. Now, the whole world is relying on us. We're dreamers and skeptics. We're explorers and pioneers. With hearts and minds. With courage and resolution. With trust and fellowship. With science. We're going to give the world their answers. And in this historic moment, at the conjunction of hopes and fears, there's no people I'd rather face the unknown with. Dr. Ward, you have the honors. Let's do this.
Yes, Commander. Scared?
Of course I am.
I thought you Army pilots were trained not to be.
We're trained to control it. The fear keeps us sharp. How are you holding up, Doctor?
Oh, I'm 100% sharp, all right.
So, do you think it's a weapon?
Well, a weapon is a very human concept. Perhaps what we perceive as a weapon is just a tool. Wait, the scan. The Metahedron's energy levels are rising rapidly. Okay, what happened?
Power supply failing.
Sensors offline.
I'm switching to backup generators. I'll try to reroute.
Look, the Metahedron, it's creating some sort of a gravity well.
The Hermes is being pulled towards it.
Hang on, everyone. Dr. Ward! Kate!
Commander Robinson? Tam? Mike? Anyone? Where are you? What is this place?
So somehow we've found ourselves far away from the ship. We've landed on the alien planet, and our goal is to try and find out where we are exactly and get back to our crew.
What's happening? Who was that? Where am I?
Without weapons and supplies, we need to get out of this area and find some shelter and a place we can rearm.
Wait!
Now, thankfully, the alien planet does have a breathable atmosphere, or this would have been a very short game. However, the flora and fauna are far more hostile than
What
Earth.
planet is this? Did the Metahedron bring us here?
So far, we've been confronted with more questions than answers. These markers, much like
Some
Dead
sort of
Space, have
alien structure.
a number of uses, but thankfully they're a little bit more benevolent than the markers. These represent a place we can rearm and refill our health.
What is going on?
Our goal is to get out of here as fast as possible, escape the storm, and try and keep our sanity intact.
Calm down, calm down. Where am I? What was that creature?
Now we've made it to safety, our next goal is to find our trusty welder and hopefully some more equipment.
The debris, it's from the Hermes. It must have splintered off when the ship entered the atmosphere.
Here's some armor we can
A
use.
Starfield backpack. Empty, but still useful.
Actually a backpack, we're going to be using that a fair bit. And we're also going to be using this electric cutter.
This electric cutter can cut through even the toughest materials. I'd better take it with me.
Now, most of the aliens in the game are quite dangerous, and getting in close to use our cutter is really only a last resort. But it's very useful if we run out of ammo, and ammunition is, I wouldn't say it's scarce, but we can't carry a hell of a lot.
Log entry. A joint-legged invertebrate life form, similar to arachnida. Fast movement, small frame. Seems to move in groups.
We do have to be careful as this planet is teeming with dangerous wildlife. Spiders, giant worms.
They're dead.
And a bunch of other things that are far more unpleasant.
Log entry. This plant doesn't have any chloroplasts, which means it can't conduct photosynthesis. Strange.
So now we've got our hands on our backpack and a basic weapon. Our next goal is to get our hands on
Must be a gate of some sort.
our friend Vera.
But there's no obvious locking log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity could cause a reaction.
This means we need to get our hands on Vera. Thankfully, we have a weapon ready built if we can find it. And I always wonder in these situations when you're going out, especially given our mission commander is military, that we chose to bring absolutely no weapons with us.
Increase the current. Just a bit. We don't want to fry the coil. There. Awesome. We did it, Kate.
I remember this. Mike and I were finishing our electrical experiment just after lunch.
There's my baby.
Vera, it's still intact.
Now Vera is going to be our main weapon of defense, but as with all good engineering, we like to tinker, and we're going to be making several improvements on this weapon, because rather than carrying an arsenal of guns, we can simply just chop and change the attachments on this gun to give it different properties.
What the hell was that?
The Scorpids are one of the more common enemies in the game. They have a very dangerous ability to hide beneath the surface of liquids. they'll jump out and they can spit acid at you, rapidly depleting your health. So I'm going to head back and just patch myself up. Also, doing this will allow me to replenish my ammunition. Perfect. Now, much like Dark Souls, when we do this, enemies also respawn. But knowing where we are, and where they will spawn from, it's a simple matter to cut them down. Excellent. So we don't need to go that way, so we'll... Now we can head on through the door to the next area of the planet. Now you can't carry a hell of a lot of ammo, so you do need to be very careful.
Wow.
We can find more ammunition in the environment, but most of the time we're going to be... Whoa! We're going to be trying to conserve our ammunition. Oh, we just stay out of that toxic waste. So all of the enemies have
Feels like I'm moving through entrails.
different strengths and weaknesses. These particular enemies, because they are made of
I
liquid.
found a strange alien cube. It's emitting neural waves. This means it has the potential to send information directly to the brain.
Oh. That was lucky. Now, we got hit pretty hard with some toxic waste. Those exploding aliens will almost insta-kill you. You can see how much damage it did, even with me killing it from such a distance. They spew out poison everywhere. Let's reload. Now, early on in the game, we don't have the means to create healing items, so we're going to have to rely on these monoliths to keep ourselves patched up. It's also one of the few ways we can get more ammunition, unless we're lucky enough to find these plants with a galvanic extract. And we find these cubes, which are basically a means for us to get some additional experience, because we actually have a full set of abilities here. And these are extremely useful. They can do passive things like allowing us to carry more gear and increase our health and stamina, to being able to craft some different consumables, healing items, explosives, all that good stuff. Another pillar.
They're from the Hermes.
These are essentially our bonfires, allowing us to restore our health and ammunition. It also respawns all of the enemies, so you want to try and use them sparingly.
Some kind of flesh-like webbing. I have to break through it. Log entry. Strong organic tissue, but the blisters appear to be filled with diethyl ether. Most likely flammable.
So to break through this next barrier, we're going to need to make a couple of modifications to our trusty Vera device. As I said before, we don't carry around hundreds of guns. We simply craft some different modules to make our weapon more versatile, using different ammunition types and different attacks. In this case, we're going to create a incendiary module, allowing us to use fire ammo. There's a bit of a theme of elemental damage in the game, and half of the combat system is working out what attacks to use on what enemies.
Log entry. This is a biovessel for an indigenous creature. The shell seems highly combustible. It contains an organism that is almost fully formed. I better not touch it.
We're essentially walking through an alien nest. Now, much like Resident Evil, you'll find these different plants, which give you different resources you can extract.
Just an hour ago. Commander Robinson loves this book.
So we found a section of the ship complete with some different crafting tables.
Some kind of organic residue.
It appears that Commander Robinson was here and he's built a bit of a makeshift workspace. We know this because Commander Robinson's work is here, his notes. He was trying to learn more about the alien environment.
Richard Robinson, log entry. Ever since I left the Hermes, it's been getting worse. The growth. I have to get it off. I've salvaged some electrical components. I might be able to craft an incendiary device with the MPU. Burn the growth. The body must be cleansed.
Ever since he left the Hermes, but we were just there. He sounds different, enraged.
So the commander is a military man, and while he doesn't have our knowledge of electronics and engineering, he has come up with a way to...
I can print a custom emitter with the MPU, connect it with the thermic module, and attach it all to the welder's frame.
We can create a makeshift flamethrower.
This might burn straight through that flesh-like webbing. And I'm taking the MPU.
Excellent. So now we've got ourselves a flamethrower and a lightning gun. Some of the creatures have different resistances and are immune to different elements, so you do need to learn their weaknesses and use the relevant modules to take them out. This incendiary gun's going to do really well. However, these creatures are weak to lightning. Wasn't fast enough on the draw then. Rookie numbers. These creatures are filled with poison, so any successful attack will basically poison us. We've got ourselves some resources. Fibre is what we use to build healing supplies. So I want to try and keep a nice steady supply of those. I'm going to patch myself up, restore my ammunition. Now we have to do is burn our way through this growth. Works like a charm.
You again. I don't see the energy points on this gate. Perhaps they're on the other side.
So this gate is closed from this side. We're going to have to work our way around to the other end, but I'm going to leave it here because we've got a very long section coming up, and I wanted to give you guys just a bit of a taste of the campaign. I think that anyone who enjoyed the Chant is going to thoroughly enjoy Scars Above. I've really been enjoying the game. I'm about halfway through the campaign, so I can heartily recommend it to anyone who enjoys survival horror games, enjoys adventure games, and is just looking for something a bit different. This is a bit of a sleeper hit. I didn't know I would enjoy it as much as I did, so go and check this one out. If you liked my previous video on the Chant, this is going to be an excellent game. It's the same publisher. They're making moves and they're making some very, very good adventure games. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do in the future. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we check out another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.